Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Davey's Analysis. And in this episode, we're going to watch Dukes and Clix. We're going to watch their FNCS Grand Finals, their two best games in Grand Finals. And we're going to break it down and see how they rotate and what their strategy is going into Grand Finals. This is a very recommended video for a lot of my viewers, so I wanted to make sure I dropped this video. Everyone liked the video I did on them previously, so I'm going to do another video on them as well. And we're going to watch their first place with 8 kills and 6 with 0 kills. So let's get right into it. But before we get into it, I just want to say we're almost at 1K subs already. And I just started dropping these videos like, I don't know, 2, 3 months ago. So I appreciate all the love and support. And I have a special video for when I reach 1K subs I'm going to drop. I voted with someone very special. And I'm going to surprise you guys with that. But yeah, so thank you guys so much. Use code Davey in the Fortnite item shop to support me directly. Really appreciate it. And let's get right into it, boys. All right, so this is their match history, and this is fourth place in grand finals. And just check out their match history; it's actually quite interesting. Their best two games are a first with 8 kills, and then a sixth with 0 kills. So it's just the consistency of them making endgame with kills is the reason why they do so well in grands. Um, it is pretty impressive to be able to be this consistent. And I know it's not too crazy with like top fives. It's like a lot of like top tens. I mean top 15s. But to consistently make endgame, pass surge, and get kills to like get to this point is what's very impressive. And that's what stands out to me when I look at this match history. So let's watch their 8 kill first. And let's watch that game first because it's their best game, and then we'll probably check out the 6 with 0 kills. I'm actually curious how they get 6 with 0 kills. They make it that far into a grand finals lobby to get 0 kills, which is interesting. So we'll check that one out after this one. But this is my first time botting Clix in Dukes in grand finals, and okay, they pull a really good zone this game, and I'm pretty sure they have very quick loot routes. So let's go check it out. I want to see how early they leave to rotate. What I heard is that Jonas's you can loot it very quick and get out of here really quick, and also the car spawns sometimes, which helps on rotates. If you watch the last Clix and Duke's video, they had the car a lot of their games in heats. I'm pretty sure I voted their heats, if I remember correctly. And they had the car to really help them rotate early. But yeah, they're pretty much done looting. Let's see. Oh my god, look at their loadouts. They have so much shield and really good AR ammo as well. They both have double AUG. And they're pretty much done looting. They just buy AR ammo, and I want you guys to check this out. They are done looting their whole POI. This is their loadout. You see their mats as well. The zone hasn't even started closing yet, and there's 46 seconds left until the zone will start closing. That's how early they are out of their POI. It is really important, obviously, in set lobbies to make your loot routes like the quickest possible, but like some POIs and certain split drops that you land, you cannot come out this quick. So the Jonas's or whatever is just very optimal for them to leave early. So that's very nice. That they get out so early so they can start working on Surge early. So I'm gonna 4x from here, but they pull a really good zone, and right now they're just trading Surge with the Sanctuary teams, and Cam and Narwhal, that's the Shuffled Shrines team, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, they're just trading with these two teams right now. And they're winning the bloom battles and they're not taking any damage, by the way, currently. But even if they were to take damage, they have all of these heals. And, like, if they had to, they could probably go back and find more heals at their POI if they needed to. But they won't even need to do that because they're currently winning their bloom battles. Also, there's berries that were just down there that Clix past. So if they want to save shield, they can do that as well. So yeah, they're set up like really good this game because they're getting so much surge and they're not taking any damage during it. Like that is actually crazy that they haven't like gotten tagged once this whole time, and they're probably so well above surge. We're gonna see surge pop pretty soon if it stays 90 up. But yeah, and they pull a great second zone, practically center almost, and they're already doing great on surge. And they haven't taken any damage. Okay, Clix finally gets tagged. That's actually crazy. And I like how they have this set up right now. They both can cover like different angles. So Clix can probably tag the people trying to rotate dead side on this zone, and then Dukes has a vision on like the people inside of the zone. So that's really good. They both have like different angles they can work on for Surge, so they cover a larger amount of the map. So, and they're 250 above, 200 above right now. A lot of kids need to die, so that's why even though we've seen them get a lot of tags, they're only 112 above. Because this is 64 Surge, if I'm not mistaken. 58 above now. It's just dropping. Okay, we're getting some tags on some kids all the way across the map. That's why they build up so high, so they can have angles on teams like that. But they're in the best position in this game right now. All these teams are burning so many mats to rotate, and then Clix and Dukes on the other hand are just sitting here the whole game, not burning any shield, and getting so much surge. So I can understand why this is their win. They're going to be more stacked in this whole lobby. If they didn't win this game, then they misplayed endgame for sure. But that means they must have had like a really good endgame. Okay, they don't pull fourth zone, so they're probably going to go instantly because they have like they're on top of a mountain. They have clear vision and they have an insight on how they want to rotate this because they have info on what's in front of them. So they're going to go instantly. Why wouldn't you? If they needed surge, I think they would sit there longer and rotate in late because you can hold a lot of the teams on that elevation hill that where they were at. But since they're doing well on surge, I think it makes sense for them to rotate in early. So you have to make sure your rotates make sense with your surge. That's one thing a lot of teams like don't do. But this rotate makes sense because they have surge. If they were below on surge, it wouldn't make any sense. Also, you see how they chose to get deeper in? So a lot of teams, they will decide, okay, fourth zone is right here. Um, let's box up right on edge. Like they're in, then they choose to box up. But instead, you're gonna see Clix and Dukes decide not to box up on edge. They have an option on where they want to box up, and they choose right here for a reason. Because they can still potentially get a good half and half pull over here. But also, if half and half pulls max, they are in front of everyone on this congestion side, so they can like choose to rotate in when they want to. That gives them more control than the teams that are on the white line of this circle. So that's why they chose to sit here. Also, if they needed surge, it would make more sense to sit on edge and hold teams. But since they don't need surge, they can afford to get a better position in this zone. And that's why they chose to sit there, by the way. So, very commendable. I see a lot of teams do this in fourth zone. You got to think about like your future rotates, and being in front of the congestion will make the rotate easier for you. So no matter where half and half pulls, they will have a free rotate. So very smart by them. Let's see how they're doing on surge. 200 above, yep. And they can still look for surge. It's going to be a little bit harder since they're not on edge to get surge, but they're in a really good spot right now. And I'm curious to see where half and half pulls. Actually, I know where it pulls because I bought it Season Day, the same game. Okay, they get a kill on Narwhal, free kill. He was getting hit by surge or something. I don't know. That's unfortunate because it literally pulled on shuffled shrines, and that's where Narwhal lands. I'm pretty sure. So that's interesting. All right, they rotate instantly, and that's really smart. You don't want to be rotating into half and half late because that like increases the chances you're gonna get held, you're gonna lose mats, you're gonna lose shield, etc. Also, like I said, they were in a good spot to rotate in early. They had that power and control to do that because of where they decide to position themselves. So, just a little heads up, there's a reason why they have so many mats right now. So, okay, but let's they're gonna elevate, which is really good because if first moving pole is like past the hill, then they won't have a hard time getting up later. And also, elevating yourself right here is really good for getting surge on the kids that have to rotate in a little bit later. So this is good for two reasons. Build another box just in case they get pre-edited. really smart because a lot of teams have to rotate towards Dukes and Clix. Alright, they're getting ready to go for first moving. I think this team is box setting them for Surge. But since they have so much space that they pre-made before they started getting fought, they can take good angles on this fight without having to panic. Really good by them to make that space beforehand. Really smart by Dukes. And right now they're playing this mid game perfectly, and their pre-planning has been perfect, and everything they've been doing makes sense. Okay, so they get a really good first moving, so they don't need to go early. Making more space because this team needs Surge. And they don't want to get griefed by this team because look how stacked they are. I mean, they don't really need anything. This team finally backs off. Probably because they're not too worried on Surge. Deuce actually gave them some damage and did some damage to them. So that makes them back off. I don't think it was intentional. I'm just pointing it out. But alright, Clix is going to do a little tack sprint. He's going to scout before doing it. He's not going to do it without any info. Just so they can scoot over to front. Ooh. Clix is actually going to go low ground. And if you're a fan of this duo, you'll see that a lot from them. And being low ground is completely fine as long as you're staying front, and that's what they're going to do the whole entire time. They have more mass than this whole entire lobby, so I think they're going to be able to get a lot of refreshes being on low ground. Oh, this is really nice. Find a body of loot. I wonder if they're going to be able to get it. Nope, they're not, but... Oh, and then this is the Blood X 2x2. I don't know if you guys ever watch Clix, but when Blood X coaches him, he loves to tell them to do this 2x2. And I'm not like 100% on like the full purpose of like that 2x2, but it creates a lot of space, and I guess it gives more of an opportunity for refreshes. So I guess that's the point of it. But okay, it pulls back up the mountain, so let's see what they decide to do here. Clix is sticking to a side, which is really good. As zone expands to the right, he'll open up more space for him to get a free rotate. Notice how they're both directly on each other. They're sticking to a side, which is really important. To the expanding side as well. Also, it goes through old builds, so you want to make sure that you're sticking on each other. And when it goes through old builds, you might potentially find more loot. They haven't gotten a refresh at all, but they still have 300 mats each, which is not too bad. And I promise you they're more stacked than half this lobby still. Okay, so Clix is going to keep going to the right, I hope. Okay, he's going to pause for a second, then get a free sprint to the right because it expands this way. Deuce is going to try to get to him. And it is perfectly fine if they tank some storm to rotate in a moving zone because they have so many chugs. They haven't gotten a refresh yet, which is concerning. So they're going to have to start playing for one. They get a really good third moving zone. I mean, this helps them out so much. Dukes gets a body of loot. Doesn't get much out of it. Okay, he gets siphon mats out of it. Okay, they find their way front side again. They're sticking on each other. They're always looking at the same thing, which is really important in duos. And all they've been doing is just sticking front this whole game and just playing their mats perfectly. I mean, you saw a beautiful mid game from them. They pulled like very good zones, so they were able to conserve their mats well. And now they're just sticking front the whole time. They know they have more mats than the whole lobby, so why take any risks by not like sticking with the fundamentals and just staying front and just burning all your mats, using all your mats to stay front and outlive the whole entire lobby that is currently shambles. So that makes complete sense why they do this in a grand finals lobby. And right now they have leverage on all these teams that are behind them, so it is a good time to look for a refresh, and they're doing it together. And then they're going to go back front once they get nothing out of it. Clix gets a kill on Teo. He's shambles, just trying to run in zone. Clix gets the siphon mats. Dukez is going to look out for him to make sure that he lives. Notice how both the IGL and the Fragger are looking for refreshes together. Never the Fragger looking by himself. Okay, zone pulls back. This is a little weird zone for them, because we're going to have to smack through old builds. Okay, Dukez is going to get a kill on Booga to Storm. They both have 0 mats. Clix gets a hard hit on one of these kids, I'm pretty sure. Sticking right on each other once again, breaking through the old builds. Currently top 5. Gonna smack in this together, try to jump in on a solo, but he armored walls. And we're finding some more loot since it pulls back, and now Clix has mats, which is really good. He's just gonna go up a layer because there's old builds in front of him. He doesn't need to smack through. Staying together perfectly once again. And now we're looking up at height because we realize it's a solo. Duke's gonna mantle up. Pops one chug, kills Cease. Gets some of the mats. Clix has no mats, was waiting for Dukez to get that kill. Now he's up here with him, and it is currently a 2v2. And they're gonna heal up. And just spray. Now they don't have anything for heal off, so I'm kind of curious what kind of play they're gonna do to like solidify that they win this game. Right now they're just trying to gas their mats and see if they can outmat them to get the free win, but they're both gonna get sprayed out, and now they both have 0 builds, so they both simultaneously need to jump down and fight them at the same time to have like the highest percentage to win this game. And Dukez kills one, gets the one other kid to 1 HP, and Clix is gonna hit the shot and win the game. So, I mean, that was just played perfectly from them. You just saw a really good mid game from them because they pulled really good zones. They take advantage of it. They don't do anything risky. They have really good rotates, and then they just play their mats perfectly, stay frontside zone the whole entire end game, and just stick together, and then they win the game. So, all right, let's check out one more game from them. I'm curious to how they get a 0 kill 6, and then that's going to be it. So let's get right into that. Alright, so this is 6th place with 0 kills, so I'm gonna 4x. That means they had to get a lot of surge. If they're not getting any kills, then their AR tags need to be on point this game. They get no refreshes and get a 6th place this game, which is kind of crazy. I'm gonna guess that it's a solo clutch. Maybe one of them die second moving or at the end of first moving and then get a really good solo clutch. That is my guess. But other than that, I have no clue how they get a 0 kill 6, and I'm actually curious. This is their first zone, so it's not the worst, but not the best. We're gonna check out their loot route timing again, and yeah, it looks like it's about to be pretty much the same as the game we just watched. Maybe a little bit later. Yeah, just a little bit later. But 20 seconds on this zone to close. So, still good timings. But not as good as the other game. You're going to see them box up on this same hill for Surge, because they're going to be able to hold all these South teams. So, they have leverage on all these South teams, like the Condo teams, that have to rotate towards them. So, they're not going to get the craziest amount of Surge. And I'm sure they're not going to sit here for too long, but they're going to try and get what they can. Let's look at their heals real quick. Okay, they both have gray augs and really good heals. They haven't been getting much surge. And I think that's the reason why they're going to sit here for a bit. Try and get their tags up. You don't see them instantly rotating because they need surge, so makes sense. And there's a bunch of teams fighting over there, so they're just going to farm that. Okay, they get a really good second zone. Really good. they can afford to sit here now because they're on edge and tag all these kids that have to rotate in late. This will actually really help them with Surge. They don't have to burn too many mats, and they can just sit here, hold all these teams that have been fighting near Jonas's, and just tag them up. That's really good for them. They don't even have to think too hard on how we can get Surge. It's just stay up here and hold all these kids. So it works out for them. And the 230 above, not bad. And they can still hold these kids. They are forced to full build. That is unfortunate. Okay. Now it's just the team that rebooted that they can hold, and then that's it. And also these shuffled Shrine teams, maybe they can get a couple tags. Okay, we have a kid in Storm. Now Clix has to get the Dukes because Storm. Okay. And they get a very far pull towards Cammy Split area. So the 300 above Surge. They're going to start rotating now. They're going to Surge, and it's a far pull, so it makes sense. They're going to go into Sanctuary so they can refarm on the way, which is really good. Makes sense. Why would you go towards the mountain with the kids that could potentially hold you? Have a little free rotate in Sanctuary, a little refarm. Very smart. Stop here for a second, recharge sprint, farm the brick. And now they're going to sit here on edge and hold all these kids for Surge. They're in front of all of them. They beat all of them to zone, which is great. And they're 300 above Surge, and a lot of teams would make the mistake to rotate in deeper and get center zone. But listen, that Surge that they have right now isn't going to last them for the rest of this game. They're aware of that. That's why they still decide to sit not directly on edge, but near edge so they can hold the congestion that rotates in later than them since they rotated in earlier. And I'm not going to lie, there is a reason why there's no team center zone right now. In this Storm Surge meta, like, you're not going to get any Surge sitting in the center of zone right here. There's a reason why no one's in the center of zone. And it's because the teams that pulled good zones recognize that they still need Surge. So they're going to sit in positions like where Clix and Dukes are, this yellow team, and then this like blue team or whatever, purple. So yeah, that is why they're doing this. Really smart. Also, no one can hold them in front of them, so they'll have a free rotate next. Duke's taking a bit of damage. I'm going to 4x from here. Okay, it makes it a little bit hard for them to get the Surge that they wanted because of all the trees blocking them. Sorry. But yeah, they're going to go instantly, and then they're going to do the same exact thing that we just watched. They're going to go hold congestion, get in front of congestion, get in zone before them, and then hold them and get Surge on them. Notice how they go instantly right when this zone pops. That's because Clix and Dukes already had this pre-planned. I'm sure they already calmed. We're going to go instantly if we don't pull zone because no one can hold us. So that's a lot of things duos need to work on is pre-planning. He's going to get fried, but it's fine. He's actually going to get box fought a little bit. So he makes some extra space early on before they start getting lobbied, which is really good. Their mats are really good. And they're doing fine on Surge, but I feel like they should be making an effort to look back to hold kids. We can break some trees too to get more vision. I guess they're just worried about the team box up next to them, but I feel like they can definitely be more productive here because they rotated in early. They can get Surge out of this. Okay, now we're making an effort to look for Surge. 70 above right now, 58 above right now. This is not looking too good. Kids are fighting right there. They should probably make an effort to box fight earlier on before they start getting ticked. Okay, now they're going to Surge. I don't know if Duke's got some damage in, but now they don't need to do anything. Just focus on their rotate. Okay, Dukes is scouting right now. Clix is just trying to look for maybe some more damage or a kill. I feel like they should be focusing on their rotate more. Now Clix is going to take a look. A lot of open space. They don't want to go too early or they are getting lobbied. But if they go to the right, use these old builds, they should be fine. Okay, Clix finds a really good time to rotate in when the height team was distracted and not looking at him, and the other teams in front of him were going, which is good. But unfortunately, he gets shot in the back by a team that needs surge. He's gonna pause right here and recharge his sprint in the bush. Really, underrated thing is a recharge station. So when you're doing a far rotate, if you can stop, box, or just sit in a bush, recharge your sprint, and then run in, it's really good. Very beneficial. Okay. And now we got in, and we're on low ground, 4th zone. We didn't elevate, and this is a really good spot to get a refresh on low ground, right on edge of the 4th zone where everyone had to rotate towards. But what I'm concerned about is their surge. Currently getting pre-edited. Do a good job to get out of that. Only one duo needs to die, surge goes away, there we go, and now they're fine. Okay, they pull a really good first moving. If I had to guess, Clix is just going to stay front side low and probably do a little bit of tack sprinting to conserve mats. Gonna chug before we rotate, or before first moving starts. We're gonna see it probably the same thing from the other game. He's just gonna try and stay front. Okay, here's our little sprint, cheap tarp. Now we're front, now we're tarping. We're gonna stagger here and wait for zone to expand to the right. That's exactly what he's gonna do. Gonna conserve mats, tack sprint under these old builds to get front, probably box again. Yep. And now we're gonna do a little sprint once again if I had to guess. Well, actually zone's right here, so they're not gonna be sprinting again. Need a little bit of damage. Clix is refarming to gain some of his mats back. Looking back for some damage. 24 below. They're staying directly on each other, looking together once again. This is a really rough zone for them because it pulls through old builds. I like this a lot. So they're using their resources. That's what I like to call it. They have chugs, so they can use these chugs to tank some storm to find a better layer. Really smart by them. You don't see them doing some brain dead play trying to smack in old builds. They're going to use what they have, and that's chugs, to try and find a better layer. They don't really find that better layer, but yeah, they should have maybe tank storm a little bit more, but if they can get out of here, they will be fine. Okay, we elevate. This is fine. Okay, I feel like, okay, Dukez is on him now. Okay, good. Just making sure he wasn't doing that by himself. Okay. Gonna sprint over old builds to conserve mats. I see Clix is trying to look for low ground, but right now it's occupied, looking back. This is leverage over teams, being front, looking back. And right now, they're tarping in the middle of zone. There's no one on their layer, and that gives them a bigger refresh opportunity as well. And since they're second height and they see this team is on wood, they're gonna look for it. That team recognizes them going up, so I think they're going to give it up. This is pretty concerning, though, because they don't have a lot of mats, and they're on second height. So right now, they either need to drop down low ground and try to go for a power play to kill a duo on low to take a lower layer, or they're going to have to shamble fight high ground, which is unfortunate. And they're going to have to choose one of those options because they can't just sit on second height the whole game. They're just going to get like gassed by height. So they're going to have to choose something. They just wanted to wait for zone. Zone pulls back in their tarp. So now they can use their tarp as a weapon to look for refreshes. But Hopefully height doesn't spray all their mats away while they're looking. Does he not get that kill? Okay, height gets that kill. That is unfortunate. Dukez, I think, tries going for the mats. Clix is gonna find some mats in Storm because it pulls back. Realistically, they can place very well this endgame if they just stick together. And stay front. Even with no mats, notice how they're staying front. It's really important. I know it pulls back into old builds, but they're still making an effort to stay front. Okay, Dukez is gonna sit here and wait for Clix to grab these mats in the Med Mist. Dukez is gonna follow him. And I'm pretty sure Clix is dead. But we're gonna watch this back. Okay. Yep, he sees the mats in Storm, grabs them. Grabs a Med Mist, grabs more mats. Which is not a bad play. But unfortunately, Kanata Angers hit Clix hard, and Dukez, I'm pretty sure, just gets jumped on by Avery Commandment. Unfortunate. I like the idea of going for that because you have no mats. But I wonder if they place higher not going for those mats and just staying front. We will never know. But I don't hate that play. It's just unfortunate it didn't work out. And now Zone pulls back towards Kanata and Angers. Clix is playing his Med Mist. There's nothing else he can do. He will die with this Med Mist. Still a good game from them, and they didn't even get one single refresh the whole end game. A lot of it had to do with Zones pulling back, and they just smacked through old builds together. And Clix did a good job at conserving his mats. Even on low ground, he was conserving his mats well this whole entire time. Because he was refarming, he was tack sprinting when he had the opportunity to. I like him using chugs to try and find a better layer, but he definitely should have maybe burned more chugs. Maybe he should have burned maybe sat and Storm a little bit more to get a better layer. Actually, the thing is though, he did it to the left. Like if you look at the map, he went towards the left, but the zone pulls towards the right. So him going left kind of hurts him more. So I guess it makes sense that he cut in earlier. But yeah, very well played by them. It's just unfortunate that going for the Med Mist and stuff actually griefed them more than helped them. Because when they came back to zone, they were just getting jumped on. So unfortunate, but still a good game from them. And yep, those are his best two games in grand finals, a first and a sixth, and the rest are just like 11s, 10s, 15s, and that's just him probably having really good mid games, but messing up somewhere in those end games. But still pretty cool to see how they practically only play low ground and conserve mats while doing it, and they're in the best spot for a refresh during those times on low ground. So yep, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below and subscribe for more content like this. And comment below under this YouTube video who you want me to VOD next. So I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.